Not the best way to start off a road trip if you're Sacramento. They are down 67-60 to Portland, and Portland's playing without a couple of key guys, whereas the Kings are totally healthy. Hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas. Ryan, it's good to have you on and talk about this game, but not a very good half for Sacramento, considering the opponent and the players that aren't playing for Portland.
Yeah, and it's the first time that the Kings have seen Portland with Scoot Henderson, but still 8-out. But it's a game, Grant, where the Kings aren't playing terribly. It's just
No.
Portland is playing well, and I like
Yeah.
how the Kings fought though at the end of this first half.
Yeah, they did come back and made it, a 7-point game after being down by double digits. But yeah, you're right about some of the players that are on the Portland Trailblazers. But, when I look at Sacramento's box score, what happened to Keegan Murray in that first half?
Non-existent, which in a game like this, he should have an advantage with that front line of Portland. So
Exactly.
unfortunately, he's got to get it going. Not much drawn up for him, but we know that with his consistency the last week or so, he could get going like that.
Once again, for Sacramento, it's the De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis show. That's it. Now again, I'm not discounting Monk. I'm talking about the starters. Okay. I mean, Sabonis and Fox combined for 41 of the 60 points. You get nothing from Murray, goose egg, okay? You get 6 points in 19 minutes from Barnes, and you get only 5 points from Kevin Huerter in 14 minutes. How many times have we come on this show and asked, where the hell is the help for Fox and Sabonis?
Well, Grant, I think we always ask what their role is on this team, those players. This must be their role because this is what happens every night and they continue to start. And this is what Mike Brown goes with. Yeah. But they're going to need more production from them, bottom line. And if they don't, they need to get Malik Monk more involved. There's obviously an advantage inside with Sabonis, JaVale McGee at times. Emphasize that, put some pressure on Portland.
Game one of a 3-game road trip, Atlanta and Memphis. Memphis, by the way, won again tonight in a thrilling overtime game, beat the Pelicans in New Orleans by 1 point, 116-115. There were 2 replay challenges, one coach's challenge with 1.1 second left by New Orleans. They won it. And then with no time on the clock, a referee challenge, they instituted the challenge and called a foul. Jaren Jackson made 1 of 2 to send the game into overtime, and then Memphis ended up winning that thrilling game. So get ready for Ja Morant on New Year's Eve. All right, so here we go in this game. All right, I'm looking at all of the numbers, and 14 assists, 7 turnovers. I think if the Kings are going to win this game, this is going to have to be a 30-plus assist game, okay? Sacramento, once again, they live and die by the 3, Ryan. 4 of 20 from beyond the arc for just 20%. That's it. Only 4 3-pointers in the first half, which, Rhino, is why I think the Kings are going to win this game. I don't think that will continue in the second half. And I'm picking the Kings to win this game by 10 points.
Yeah, Grant, I'm actually with you on that. I mean, they got good looks from the 3-point line. They just didn't make them. They were inside-out looks. So I expect those to fall here in the second half and then continue pounding the inside, because when those 2 games are molding together, the Kings will start clicking.
Yeah, so I'm going to say the Kings are going to win this game. I think you're going to score 65 points in this second half. All right, so I got the Kings winning 125-114.
I'm going to say Sacramento 121, Portland 111.
Okay, well, we both got the Kings winning this game. What about everyone else? As this is game 1 of a 3-game road trip with Atlanta followed by Memphis. But it's not a good first half, especially when you figure out, Ayton's not playing, Sharp's not playing. And listen, DeAndre Ayton is giving the Kings fits because they don't have anybody that can really contend with him.
Right, and it's a different Portland team when he's not on the floor too, because it gives them more space to operate, which you see Sacramento not being able to control the outside drives. So something to pay attention to.
And Anita makes a great point. Look at the disparity in the bench scoring in that first half, 37-8. How about that?
Well, and that was mostly the center and the front line for Portland, each of them 11 and 12 points, respectfully off the bench.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll see. Again, there's a lot of time left, and remember, put the winning score first. That would go 115 to 110 Kings, not 110 to 115. All right. Come on now. Let's go.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on. Yeah,
Grant,
but that's go ahead.
you talked about the Kings assists really quick. I want to touch on Portland's. They have 14 in the first half. The Kings need to slow them down some way. They're the worst in
Mhm.
the NBA at just over 22 a game usually. So that will also be a recipe for the Kings to get it.
All right, Dobo Utro, good morning to those in Serbia. And the Memphis game was a thriller. That was an unbelievable game as the Grizzlies keep rolling along. That's incredible what they've done since John Morant has come back. And I had kind of canceled them out of the playoff picture. Maybe that was premature. But all right, so that second quarter was a high-scoring quarter, 35-27 in favor of Portland. And, the Blazers at home, and it's historically been a challenging place to play for Sacramento. But I'm just looking at the rosters. I'm looking at how that first half went. I'm happy with the quality of shots that the Kings got. I don't see them missing as many threes as you just said. I agree with you. I think that's going to change. All right. So Anita's spot on. I do think the Kings bench is going to have to play better. What else would you like to see in this second half?
Yeah, I want to see the bench play better, as you said. In the second half, the thing that I really want to see is the Kings also get to the free throw line, which means they're getting back into the paint because Domantas Sabonis had a clear advantage in the first half.
Yep.
Everything starts for the Kings in there. When it does, they win basketball games.
It's a great point, Ryan. The Kings only had 5 free throw attempts. They made 4 of them, whereas, Portland went to the line 14 times and they made 11. So I think that's a very good point. Get to the line. Absolutely.
Yep, it slows things down. It gets them tired, get them in foul trouble. Always good for the Kings.
All right. Now, the one thing you do not want, and I say this, and I shouldn't have to because a lot of folks know this, you don't want to let an inferior team, when they're at home, hang around because the crowd's going to get crazy. And with 5 minutes left, I know you have Fox. And you and I talked about this on the last postgame. The Kings really haven't had a lot of close games this year, but I don't want it to be against this team in this situation being shorthanded. This would be, and again, I still think the Kings are going to win. But if this team loses this game, I'm going to make a prediction right now, okay? I'm not a prediction. I'm going to make a statement, not a prediction, because I think the Kings are going to win. That's my prediction. If I'm wrong, I think this will, without even knowing how the game will go in the second half, I think this will end up being the worst loss of the year.
Bold take. It very well could be. I think we do have to give Portland a little credit, though. Their athleticism is not reflective of their record. And we know athleticism sometimes gives the Kings problems, but easily, Grant. I mean, you look at the Kings rolling in. This is the 3-game stretch that they absolutely have to have 2-1 at a minimum.
Okay, the reason why I'm saying that is the Blazers overall are 7-21, and they're 3-10 at home. So, Ryan, they've only won 3 games at home. They're without Sharp. They're without Ayton. The Kings are at full strength. So I don't care if they are decathletes, okay? I don't care if they have Olympic gold medals in the decathlon. they should not beat the Sacramento Kings in any way, shape, or form. So that's why if we're talking with a bad loss here in an hour from now, it will be the worst loss of the year. I don't think it's going to happen. I personally think the Kings are going to have one of those 40-point third quarters. I'm just predicting. I think the Kings are going to score 40 points in the third quarter.
I think you're right, because it's just shot making. The opportunities are there. Just knock down your shots.
All right. Again, 67-60 at the half in favor of the Blazers. We'll be with you during the post-game show, and then the Kings will rock on to Atlanta. Now, don't forget tomorrow, because of the holidays, and we didn't have a show yesterday on Christmas with Sean Salisbury. He's going to be on with me right here tomorrow talking NFL, and we're also going to preview the college football playoff on New Year's Day. So that's Sean Salisbury tomorrow right here at 3 o'clock Pacific.
There's a lot for you and Sean to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, other scores around the NBA tonight real quickly. The Hawks lost to the Bulls 118-113. I'm mentioning them because that's who the Kings play next. The Pacers beat Houston in Houston 123-117. Oklahoma City at home in a big game, 1-2, 129-106. You had Memphis in overtime beat New Orleans 116-105. The Pistons lost again 118-112 to Brooklyn. Those are some of the scores, and Charlotte is playing the LA Clippers right now. So this is a game where the Kings need to win, pick up some ground on some teams around you, like New Orleans, all right, and figure out a way somehow, some way, just get the win. You're on the road. Doesn't have to be a thing of beauty. Just win the freaking game.
Yeah, handle your business. I mean, this
Yep.
is simply a fact of a Kings team that didn't play bad. You just saw a Portland team that played probably nearly at their best.
Yeah. Well, so now your standings: Minnesota's 1, Denver's 2, Oklahoma City 3, and the Kings currently at 17-11, fourth. Again, we told you the Clippers are currently playing. So I'm thinking the Kings are going to win this game. I think they're going to have a 65-point second half. I think they're going to really get it going in the third quarter. And again, we will be right back with you in a little more than an hour from now. You think this game will be close with 5 minutes left?
Yeah, I do. But I'm
You
going to
do?
put you on the spot to end the show, though, really quick. Which King's going to take charge here in the second half of that big run?
I think Malik Monk's going to have a big second half. So I think it's going to be off the bench, and I think Monk is going to end up with one of those halves. All right, because I can't expect any more from Fox or Sabonis. They're not going to duplicate what they did. In other words, they're going to play like that in the second half. I don't think that they can play better. But I think the bench, and I think it's Malik Monk. Monk's the guy that I'm looking for off the bench. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Keegan Murray.
Okay.
This is one of those games where somebody's got to come out. Keegan has been so great at shot making, and that's what this team needs right now in this moment. And it's just like gasoline on a fire. Everything will erupt for the Kings.
All right. So unless Monk's being bothered by the foot injury, again, he was 0 of 4 from 3 in that first half. 2 of 7 overall. I think he is going to have the game. Lyles didn't score. Vezenkov didn't score. I mean, no one scored, really, for all intents and purposes, the bench. So we'll see. Again, 67-60. Ryan, looking forward to it, buddy. See you in about an hour.
Can't wait, Nibs.
And we'll be back right here on If You Don't Like That. Enjoy the second half, everybody. And thanks for being with us here